Welcome to Empowering Change at the Retirement Series. Today we are focusing on the role of leadership, the role of leadership from a coaching perspective at that stage. This is moving from one phase of life to another. Retirement, retirement. They call it you can retire at 55, can retire at 60, can retire at 65. And not only that, of late, can even get the retirement at 70, which is becoming more and more demanding. But when that happens, there is need for leadership. One has to lead his or her life. The role of leadership. The first one is emotional resilience and adaptability. Just imagine when you leave that place where you have spent the 30 years, the 20 years, in some cases even 40 years. There is a loss of immediate identity. There can easily be isolation. Isolation meaning that you no longer have people who can easily connect with you, those whom you used to call, those whom you used to visit. At times there is need to relocate and move away from where you used to live. And that brings a level of anxiety. That brings a lot of what? A loss of identity itself, because you are no longer associating with the right people that you used to have for all the years. But now, there's need to embrace that change. There's need to embrace that change because that change is a reality. To accept the reality. You go to NASA, they tell you now, look, you may not be there in the next year. These guys, what? They seem to instill that kind of anxiety, fear within people. But having said that, it's not about them, but it's about how you handle yourself from an emotional perspective. There's need for that emotional stability and national resilience, emotional what? Adaptability as you go through that change. And number two, you want healthy relationships and the social connections that will see you through this phase. And that means there's a need to engage. When I say engage yourself with the community, you become part of them. Of course, from that level, you can be engaged in community and in terms of not only community, but volunteering to provide a service to specific groups. Of course, take note, this environment is no longer Mhlandigere as we used to look at it. It's Mhlandimire, because you also need to make sure that you can survive within the same environment thereafter beyond your workplace. When I say Mhlandimire, I'm actually saying, yes, you need social connections, you need healthy relationships, which is very correct. Those that can also continue to support you and give you business so that you can sustain your life beyond the workplace, especially within the Zimbabwean environment. The question is, what are you doing? What am I doing to prepare for that day before what? Before that retirement age, before that 55? Because it's a strategic decision to decide, am I going to retire at 55? Am I going to retire at 60, 65 or 70? It's a strategic decision. You want to make that decision even as early as the day you get employed, so that these relationships can be with you beyond the day you leave that employer. So in other words, those social connections become very key. Keep them. Let's keep them. Let's intentionally build upon them at all stages of our life, knowing that one day I will leave this place and I can be blessed with more 30, 40, 50 years beyond your what? Beyond your day. Having said that, we just want to continue to encourage us to say, where you may have a challenge of not being sure of what to do, that's where the life coach is coming in. That's where we come in. Yeah, it's where you need to book an appointment. Then we talk about it to encourage, to build each other in the process. So that when it happens, because it's a reality, it will happen, you are ready for it. Then there's also need to balance, to get balanced even during that stage. You know, the balance at the levels of life, but at other levels of life, there is ready income coming through. But at this stage, you can imagine, you can easily be getting the what? The 2,000 ZiG or nothing. You can actually be given your ZiG amount as a lump sum. and which can reduce it to a US dollar plus minus $100 to $200 plus minus. That we may not be able to sustain you. So keeping the balance then means you want now to say, okay, where am I financially? Where am I spiritually? Where am I physically? And one way of doing it is to make sure that you engage yourself in physical exercises, which keeps you busy, sweat every day in one way or the other, which can come through what? The different types of exercises that may be fit with you. Of course, even on exercises, you need the right coach. You need people that can walk through during that phase. And not only that, there is the nutrition part of it, where you need to balance your exercise, nutrition, even career development, because you need that balance as you move. You want to read and be relevant at the point in time. But having said that, to do that, it calls for money. You have to sustain yourself beyond that. The gym fees have to be paid where need to be. You still need to travel. You still need to keep your mental healthy. And as a result, there's need to think through and say, where am I? Where am I? Where there is a gap, when you anticipate it, book for an appointment. We work together and see ourselves to another level. I can imagine even before I left, it was quite interesting to realize that I'm leaving university work as lecturer, as all the roles that I used to play. And moving into this career meant a lot. Going into this new dimension of life meant a lot to me. It meant that I have to do what? To pick myself up, redefine my efforts, redesign my future, redesign my energy, and redirect my energy to something else, which could be in terms of value, which was, and it is translated to be of better value than what I used to even earn financially. As a result, the more you engage with the community, the more you keep your life more and more balanced, the more you are emotionally more and more stable. And the next point to look at is legacy. Beyond me, what is going to happen? The Bible talks about a good man leaves inheritance for his grandchildren. Oh, we have them. You may be one of those who is blessed enough to have these grandchildren. They are all looking forward to something. They look forward to something. And it is worth thinking and projecting to say, what is it that I'm doing? So that people can remember. How are they? What are they going to remember about me in terms of legacy? It could be from a spiritual perspective, from the exercise, even the physical efforts that you put to see yourself moving. It could be in financial properties and others, this estate that you live. And that could be powerful in its own way. So, having said that, these new goals must be refined in the process, refined to the level that they bring fulfillment to yourself. And every day you wake up, you are looking forward to something that must happen and make a difference and make an impact, so that you finish well. When I say finish well, you are looking at you unozorora murugare. Having said that, you can follow us on your social media platforms and YouTube platforms, and that alone will continue to empower each other and be encouraged. Signing and make sure that you keep in touch with us as we go. Having said that, thank you.